It's the album that changed everything, Metallica's Black Album. In Cause and Effect, Metallica, author Chris Aiken takes you back to the lead-up, the release, and the shockwaves that followed. Relive the moment that divided fans, reshaped heavy metal, and turned commercial radio on its ear. With insider stories and personal memories from rock critic and radio personality Chris Aiken, this book is a backstage pass to one of rock's most iconic moments. Get your copy now at chrisaiken.net or on Amazon. Don't miss out on this epic journey through heavy metal history.
You guys were really, at the time that you left Dead Daisies, you guys were right on the cusp, it felt like, of breaking into that next level as a band, and it almost felt like a kind of a start over for fans. Were you aware of that? And it sounds like you are now, but...
I honestly, like, I you know, yeah, I mean, I knew they got Glenn, you know, but I didn't really... You know, I was in contact with everybody, but it wasn't like I was on their Facebook page every day to see what was going on. You know what I mean? Right. I was kind of doing my own thing, you know, and again, like, you know, for those that don't know, me leaving was a strictly personal thing. If anybody followed my career, they knew prior to me joining the Daisies, I had a solo band with my son, Ian.
Right.
And I had just gotten married as well in August to my wife. And literally like 4 months later, the Daisies called, asked me to do this thing in Cuba. Then they asked me to do a record. And initially it was like, okay, well, we're going to use you 6 months. And then you got the rest of the year to do what you want. And I was like, okay, well, great. I can do this. Well, it got to the point, I don't know why. I'm not trying to take credit for anything, but we did Revolution, and the band's trajectory just started taking off.
Right.
And we started doing huge festivals and opening for Kiss and Whitesnake and, you know, and we were busy just constantly. So then you know, like 2017, 18, yeah, I got my son in one ear going, Dad, you suck. I moved to Nashville to be in your band.
Right.
And now you're in another band and you're never home. And then my wife, like, I'd come home from a tour and I'd walk in the door and she'd be standing there with a gun going, I don't recognize you. You know what I mean? So I go, I think I need to take some time here, hang out with my family. 2019, I worked, but I did it at my own pace. I worked a lot. Got to do some shows with my kid, you know, and then obviously who saw COVID coming?
Right.
You know, 2020 was the year of the, you know, the year of the cough. So we're just like, all right. Then it was like, I kind of assumed, you know, having a little too much faith in science, I went, fuck it, they'll have it knocked out in like 3 weeks. And it was like, you know, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, you know, it was crazy. But, you know, I was, like I said, I was in contact with everybody, but it was kind of a personal thing for me. I just wanted to hang out with my kid and my wife and just kind of work at my own pace, which I did.
Sure.
But, you know, I didn't really pay much mind to what was going on in the Daisies at the time. You know what I mean? So I wasn't looking at comments. I still don't.
Sure.
I try not to because somebody's going to say something that'll piss me off. And my first reaction is to tell them to go fuck themselves. But you know, I'm like, I'm just, you know what? Best you don't read the comments.
Brace yourself for the wildest ride of your life. It's the craziest book Chris Aiken has ever written, and other things I should not say. Get ready for over 500 pages of pure, unfiltered debauchery. From his military years, Chris Aiken spills the shocking stories of sex, partying, violence, and the stuff that's so wild it's probably illegal. You've heard the tales on the Classic Metal Show, but never like this. Don't wait. Get your copy now at chrisaiken.net before the censors try to shut it down.